God told Abraham if he would leave Ur of the Chaldees, he would bless him and multiply his seed, and he would make of him a great nation. Those who blessed Abraham, God would bless. Those who cursed Abraham, God would curse. Making covenant with Abraham, God said to him, I will make your seed like the sand of the sea. You won't be able to number them. He said, look up. Your seed will be like the stars of the heaven for number. They cannot be numbered. So God was going to multiply the seed of Abraham and make him a blessing. However, it was about 25 years after God gave the promise that he blessed Abraham with a son called Isaac. In the meantime, they got worried that they weren't going to have a son, and Sarah suggested that Abraham take Hagar, their handmaiden, and he did that, and she bore a son called Ishmael. Let's read about it in Genesis chapter 16. Now Sarai, Abram's wife, had borne him no children, and she said to an Egyptian maidservant whose name was Hagar, so Sarah said to Abraham, see now the Lord has restrained me from bearing children. Please go into my handmaid. Perhaps I will obtain children by her. And Abram heeded the voice of Sarah. Then Sarah, Abram's wife, took Hagar, her maid, the Egyptian, and gave her to her husband, Abram, to be his wife. After Abram had dwelt 10 years in the land of Canaan. So he went to Hagar, and she conceived, and when she saw that she had conceived, her mistress became despised in her eyes. Then Sarah said to Abraham, my wrong be upon you. I gave my maid into your embrace. When she saw that she had conceived, I became despised in her eyes. The Lord judged between you and me. So Abram said to Sarai, indeed, your maid is in your hand. Do to her as you please. And when Sarah dealt harshly with her, she fled from her presence. And the angel of the Lord found her by a spring of water in the wilderness, by the spring on the way to Shur. And he said, Hagar, Sarah's maid, where have you come from? Where are you going? She said, I am fleeing from the presence of my mistress Sarai. And the angel of the Lord said to her, return to your mistress and submit yourself unto her hand. Then the angel of the Lord said to her, I will multiply your descendants exceedingly, so that they shall not be counted for number. And the angel of the Lord said to her, behold, you are with child. You shall bear a son. You shall call his name Ishmael, because the Lord has heard your affliction. He shall be a wild man. His hand shall be against every man, and every man's hand against him. And he shall dwell in the presence of all his brethren. Then she called the name of the Lord who spoke to her, you are the God who sees. For she said, have I also here seen him who sees me? Therefore the well was called Ber-lahai. Observe, it is between Kadesh and Bered. So Hagar bore Abram's son, and Abram named his son whom Hagar bore Ishmael. Abram was 86 years old when Hagar bore Ishmael to Abraham. And here we are sitting beside a well. Could have been a well similar to this that they found here in the wilderness. And now here is Ari Bar David to tell you about this incident in the life of Abraham and Sarah, his wife.
We've just heard what happened in chapter 16 of Genesis. We saw that Sarah was very, very envious about Hagar, and everything that Hagar did made her angry. So the moment Hagar felt that she has a baby, she started feeling more important than Sarah. Sarah got very envy and very angry, and she commanded Abram, take her away. I don't want her around me. Now she went to the desert of Bersheba. You see around you now how the desert of Bersheba is looking. It's desert, it's arid, it's so hard way. It's no doubt that you will lose your way and you will find yourself almost with no help, almost waiting for die. So all the picture that you see now behind me, this is the real desert south of Bersheba, where Hagar went, and actually what she did, she was running from her mistress. But look, the angel met her. This is chapter 16, this first time that we find a discussion or talk between angel and a man. And look, the angel starts with a question, right? The angel asked her. First of all, he knew her name, Hagar, Sarai maid. Where have you come from and where are you going? Of course, if the angel knew her name, Hagar, and he knew that she's running from Sarah, of course, he knew everything about her. But look what he's doing. He's asking a question. We will see again and again that when angel is meeting somebody, he starts by asking a question. And only when Hagar responds very correctly by saying, I am, she says to him, I am running away from my mistress. She didn't deny it. Then the angel tells her, go back to your mistress. Go back, and I am going to bless the seed that you have in yourself. His name is going to be Ishmael, which means God is hearing you. And actually Ishmael, the son of Isaac, Ishmael, the source of 12 nations that came from him. Ishmael, that was so blessed, like we will see later on, God said, from Mishmanei Haaretz, from the oil of the land you will get. And no doubt, the Arabics, which are the descendants of the Ishmael, they are possessing around 70% of the oil of the world. So every word that the angel said to Hagar in this meeting fulfilled. Now we have to understand that these words are so important in the history also of Ishmael, also of Yitzchak. And they were given near a cistern of water, near a spring of water. And then when Hagar believed in what the angel said, he told her, go back to your mistress. And that's what she did. But not only this, she called the place with a name, and she called it El Roi. And that's why the place is called Be'er La'achai Roi, which is the meaning, the well of the one, the living one that saw me. The living God met almost dead Hagar. He saw her and has so much promise to give her and so much blessing to give her here in this place.